So I was coming home from work the other week, and what happened was we were driving along, and the engine just dies, cuts out, shuts off, and then I kind of coast to the shoulder of the road there. Everything else in the vehicle works. Got, like all your other power stuff is working, your lights, your radio, all those things, right? But the engine, it died and wouldn't start. So the first thing I thought was, okay, well, it's got to be spark. The first thing I did was I changed that coil down there. Not in the best spot, but I changed the coil, tried to start it, and again, no start. I'm thinking, okay, what's the problem then? So then I took off the distributor cap here. I took off that cap, and then underneath the rotor inside was completely obliterated. There's nothing left there. Once I changed the rotor and I changed the coil, put everything back together, it was running fine, no more issues. Shortly after that, then we're driving along, and the vehicle doesn't want to basically shift into overdrive. It's staying at those high RPMs. It was also idling high, especially in park. It would idle high, too high. Then when you're driving, there's kind of like a surging. It would, every once in a while, it would kind of like surge, feel like it either pick up or drag, just momentarily, and then away you go. I'd already changed the coil, the distributor cap, and the rotor, so then I went the rest of the way and I did the plugs and I did the wires, figuring there might be a short or something wrong with those. So I changed those all out recently, and it's running good. If we take a look here, this is going to be our idle control sensor, and this one here is going to be our throttle position sensor. What I've done in the past is I just have a complete rebuilt throttle body, and I just change out the whole thing. And I think a combination of those two sensors was causing the vehicle to one, idle too high, and two, not shift properly. Here's our shift cable here, and you can adjust this. If you take that lock off of there, you can adjust this for the shift when you're driving this thing. But I think what it was that failed sensor or failing sensor was telling the ECU, basically it was given the wrong reading, and it was telling it not to basically shift into overdrive. Anyway, now that I've changed the throttle body with the new sensors, and I've changed all the electrical over on the other side there with the plugs, wires, distributor cap, rotor, and coil, everything is running smooth, running good. This one here was for the shifting problem and the high idle. And over here was what caused the vehicle just to completely shut off, and then running a little bit erratic at times. Got a couple parts on the bench here that we're going to go over. We'll start off here. This is the part number for this distributor cap. We've got another distributor cap over here, but there's no part number on that box there. This is the part number for our coil, and this is the part number for our rotor. So I guess the first thing is you want to get a distributor cap that has the brass leads, not the aluminum ones, because they're just a better choice. And then you have your vent here, and what I like to do is I like to mark on my distributor cap what the firing order is. So this helps me when I'm out in the field to put my wires back on where they're supposed to go and everything like that. What happened in our case is that the rotor disintegrated, and the reason it disintegrated is because of that plastic dimple in there. So it's pretty much just like a dimple, and then they set that metal piece in there, and then they apply some heat and kind of melt it into place and hold it there. Well, that had failed, and this whole metal section had come off of the rotor as it was spinning inside there. So it lost connection from the coil to the leads, and that's why it wouldn't run anymore. Now, I haven't been able to find another one that's better than this. There's this one here, and we have this one here, but they're the exact same thing, as you can see. I guess it is what it is. This is the parts that we have to deal with, but that was the reason that it had failed. One thing that I wanted to kind of show that I didn't realize before was that this centerpiece here, that's actually a plunger. It pushes in and out, and I never realized that before. There's no plunger on this one. That one's fixed. If I knew that beforehand, I would choose this distributor cap over the other one, because I don't like that plunger idea. That could wear out, or that could fail somehow. You'll see here that I have this labeled as a used part, clean and reuse. What I'm talking about there is you can see the buildup on the leads. Some of them are a little worse than others. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get in there with the wire wheel, and I'm just gonna clean those off. And then this will be my used part that'll get me back home if I need it. And then again, this is the plunger one. And if you were to check this plunger compared to this one is more, it has more wear on it, and it moves further down into the space than the other one does. What I'll do is I'll have these used parts, and I'll have one of each, and I'll have them as backup just in case I get into any trouble. It'll get me home. Or if you're inclined, you could just have new parts as well and have them in the vehicle. They don't take up much space. We're talking distributor cap, rotor, and a coil. And if you had any trouble, these would be quick, easy fixes. Basically only two fasteners that hold this coil on. The only problem is what type of fastener is it, and the location might give you a little bit of grief, but you just got to plug in your spark plug wire here, and then you've got your other plug in on this end there. And then on this one here, we've just got our two fasteners that are going to hold that down. And you can't get it wrong because one side's round and one side's got like the square end on there. And then what I like to do as well is I like to mark it so then I know where my wires are going to go when I'm installing it. It's not exactly straightforward when you put it in there. Like this, used to be that they would have a number 1 right on the distributor cap to let you know that this is number 1, but we don't have that. We don't have an indicator there. So that's why I mark it down with like a paint marker, and then that'll help me out in the field as well. Just a suggestion for anybody out there, a couple small spare parts if you happen to break down on the road, especially in the wintertime, it's cold out and stuff like that. If you have the parts and you have the tools, you could be back on the road fairly fast, and this stuff wouldn't take up very much room in the vehicle wherever you're going to put it, and have it ready to go.